A prince walked away from a palace, and everything changed. Secrets were revealed, trust was shattered, and one question still hangs in the air. Was it escape, or was it betrayal? Stay with me, because the truth behind this royal reckoning is more complicated than it looks. Good day, and welcome to Royal Top Stories, where the crown comes with receipts. Picture this: a prince walks away from a palace, picks up a microphone, and accidentally starts a family earthquake. Yes, today we are unpacking the royal saga that turned happily ever after into legally complicated. This is the story of Prince Harry, the spare who went spare, and the price tag attached to saying, "I am done with this." Quick favor, if you are enjoying this royal roller coaster already, hit that subscribe button and tap the notifications bell. It is free, takes a second, and keeps you first in line for the next palace plot twist. Thank you if you did. Now back to the show. Once upon a time, Harry was the monarchy's most marketable mood swing. One minute he was in uniform, charming crowds and founding the Invictus Games. The next he was the rebel prince who promised to modernize the monarchy with honesty and heart. Then came the exit. In 2020, Harry and Meghan stepped away from senior royal duties, packed their titles, and relocated to California. It was sold as a search for peace and privacy. The result looked more like a reality show with court transcripts. Here's the first bill on the table: royal status. Walking away from the firm meant walking away from military patronages, official roles, and public funding for security. Imagine quitting your job and then being surprised that the company car disappears. Harry lost the perks but kept the spotlight. That's like canceling cable and still paying for the sports package. Now let us talk about the real earthquake: the storytelling. Silence used to be the monarchy's favorite flavor. Harry changed the menu. Between televised interviews, a Netflix series, and his memoir, he served behind-the-scenes drama with a side of family secrets. To some, this was brave transparency. To the palace, it was betrayal with footnotes. Trust in royal families is like fine china. Drop it once, and you hear the crack for generations. Transition with me from the headlines to the heart of the family. The relationship with Prince William went from brotherly banter to frosty distance. The once inseparable duo now appear at events like two people waiting for separate buses. As for King Charles, the timing could not have been worse. While the king manages health challenges and a demanding reign, his younger son is overseas releasing chapters about childhood grievances. It's difficult to rebuild bridges when one side is busy live streaming the demolition. Next stop on this royal road trip: charity, or as we now call it, unintended collateral damage. Harry co-founded Sentebale to honor Princess Diana and support vulnerable young people in southern Africa. It was meant to be his heart project. Then came internal disputes, leadership drama, and financial strain. Eventually, Harry stepped down as patron. When a charity built on compassion becomes a casualty of controversy, that's not just bad press, that's a reputational bruise with a long recovery time. Let us zoom out and follow the money, because betrayal has a budget. Life in California is not exactly budget accommodation. Private security, legal fees, and Montecito property prices do not accept royal titles as payment. Harry pursued court cases over police protection in the United Kingdom and lost. That was a public defeat and an expensive one. Media deals brought income, yes, but also expectations. When your livelihood depends on telling your story, you eventually run out of chapters or friends. Sometimes both. Public opinion is where the plot thickens. Harry once topped popularity polls. He was the relatable royal who hugged veterans and laughed at himself. Now he splits the room. Supporters see a man choosing mental health and truth. Critics see a prince torching tradition and family loyalty for profit. The monarchy, meanwhile, carries on like a train that missed one carriage and did not stop. Balcony appearances continue. Ceremonies proceed. The institution survives, because that is what institutions do. Here is a sharp turn in the story: legacy. Harry still runs the Invictus Games, and that remains a genuine success. Veterans benefit, lives are changed, but every good deed now competes with the echo of public accusations. It's like trying to play classical music next to a fire alarm. The tune is noble, but the noise is louder. So what is the true cost of betrayal in royal terms? Start with family. Estrangement is not glamorous, even when it comes with a podcast deal. Add identity. Harry is no longer a working royal, but he is not quite a private citizen either. He lives in a royal limbo where he is famous for leaving the thing that made him famous. Then add reputation. Trust is the currency of monarchies. Spend it publicly, and you go into emotional overdraft. Now, let us sprinkle in a little perspective with a relatable analogy. Think of the monarchy as a very old family business. William is the future chief executive. Charles is the current one. Harry was the creative director who resigned and then wrote a tell-all book about office politics. The business survived. The family dinners did not. What makes this story fascinating is that both sides believe they are right. Harry says he escaped an environment that harmed him. The palace believes he broke a code that protected everyone. One side calls it freedom, the other calls it disloyalty. History will decide which label sticks. For now, the scoreboard reads lost titles, distant relatives, shaky cherries, and a public image that now needs a public relations therapist. And yet, here comes the suspenseful twist. Royal history loves comebacks. Estranged dukes have returned before. Feuds have thawed. Letters have been written. But reconciliation in this case would require something rarer than a crown jewel. Silence. The monarchy forgives many things. It struggles with memoirs. So where does that leave Prince Harry today? A global figure without a formal royal job, a husband and father far from his homeland, and a symbol of what happens when tradition meets modern confession culture. He chose to trade palace walls for public platforms. The price was connection. The profit was control of his narrative. Whether that trade was worth it depends on which side of the palace gates you stand. In the end, this is not just a story about one prince. It's about an institution learning how to survive in the age of oversharing. It's about family drama playing out on a world stage, and it's about the ancient rule of royalty: never complain, never explain, unless you plan to pay the bill. Thank you for watching Royal Top Stories.